Welcome back for day two. And I know it's hard to get started on day two when we're early morning and the caffeine may not have hit yet. So glad you could be here. I know we'll have some people drifting in during the session, so that's all good. Just a little bit of a recap. We had a great first day. Just wanted to remind the people that wasn't here yesterday, the reason we're getting together, share best practices, explore trends, highlight challenges, and not the least, the conversation between academic industry and the IT industry really about driving maybe needs and requirements of what we're looking for. And then the second important part of this conference is really about having also an engagement around sort of developing a sustainable and diverse workforce, for the industry. So inside it's all about technology, but engage, educate, and network. This is the community that's here, slightly updated from yesterday as people signed in and registered a few extra. So it does represent that sort of trifold, if you will, with the oil and gas industry, the IT industry, and academic. So it's a good way of bringing those communities together, and it's really the conversation at the intersects of those communities we're after. If you wonder where they're from, surprisingly, a lot of them are from Texas, the energy industry. California is strong, and we have a few international. Although the international, I'm not sure how many of those actually came because of the coronavirus, and whether many of those ended up canceling last minute. But this is based on registration, so it's a good show here. I don't know what the head count is that actually signed in yet. I'll give you that after lunch. And in terms of how people self-reported and how important they were in their industry, this is who we have here. They're recommenders, executives, decision makers, influencers. So there's a fairly high caliber audience we have here in terms of what's going on in the industry and sort of decision makers. Couldn't do it without the huge committee participants. You probably recognize most of the names up here. I'm not going to ask them to stand up, but make sure you reach out to them and thank them for all the work they do during the portion of the year where we're not here. Also want to make sure you thank Michelle and Meredith. You've seen them at the registration desk. You'll see them run around. If you have communicated ahead of time, those are the ones that have been answering emails, so they deserve all the credit for all the things that goes well. Anything that goes wrong, that's my problem. So, if there's something that doesn't work, that you have to come to me. All kudos goes to them. Couldn't do it without them. Today, we have a busy morning, some breaks. So initially, I get back to that, but we have 3 talks in the morning. The third talk, actually, the speaker couldn't be here, so we'll do like yesterday. It will be actually a pre-recorded talk, so we'll probably have a little bit of a longer break, but we'll look at that. Then we are breaking at 10:30 or before. 11 o'clock, we reconvene here for HPC systems and facilities conversation. So it's a parallel track, so you can look in your program what the specific talks are. And also upstairs in room 280, HPC software tools and technologies. Then we have the lunch networking break, and in the afternoon, we come back after the parallel session and lunch. We come back with 3 other talks in the end, and then we go over to the event hall, which then will be dressed up for doing a poster session with students and networking. So, and for a few of you, you may have signed up tomorrow for 2 all-day workshops tomorrow. So they'll also be in this building, and you can just talk to the registration desk to get details on that. Again, want to thank all the sponsors. We couldn't do it without them. Great conversations around there and networking also in the event hall. So thank you again for that. I also want to thank the companies that are sponsoring our fellowships, specifically in addition to the conference. And so it's a great value, and it actually helps highlight some of our students here that will be here this afternoon. And then there's some good practices again around, if you see me elbow bumping, that's why. Spend some time washing your hands and do all the practical things you should do during the seasonal flu season anyway. Lots of people I notice now have practiced their Vulcan greeting, so keep doing that, and that's a good way of doing that. Finally, this is the room we're in. So we are in 103. Women's restroom behind me here, men's restroom here, or around on the back side of the auditorium. You have to walk that way because there's no way of getting into it from here, so you have to walk around the auditorium. Alternatively, restrooms are also upstairs. Probably the biggest restroom facility is up here, so you can either do the outside stairs or you can come up the stairs here and head down the hallway. So just want to, sometimes you lose the capacity restrooms upstairs. Then this is a good time to turn off your cell phones. That reminds me, probably should check mine, see if mine is off. And then we'll just get started here. So let me see here. I have a